Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. With each game that the Warriors are defeated, it becomes clear that this squad needs updates. Negotiations will certainly be made at the trade deadline, and some Warriors players will go to other teams, and one of them is already being targeted by the New York Knicks, which is Kevon Looney. Warriors will lose reserve center to rival team. The New York Knicks were extremely active this offseason, as they made two splash trades in acquiring Mikal Bridges from the Brooklyn Nets and Karl-Anthony Towns from the Minnesota Timberwolves. However, the Knicks had also expressed interest in Golden State Warriors backup center, Kevon Looney, per Hoops Hype's Michael Scotto. New York was always in the market for a center in the offseason after Isaiah Hartenstein departed for the Oklahoma City Thunder and Mitchell Robinson underwent ankle surgery. Kevon Looney drew exploratory trade interest from the Knicks, Thunder, and Grizzlies early this offseason before the organizations pivoted in other directions, Hoops Hype has learned, Scotto wrote. Looney would have been a rather cheap option for New York to fill in a backup role. Looney is a 10-year NBA veteran and has played all of those seasons with the Warriors, winning 3 NBA championships in 2017, 2018, and 2022. Across those 10 seasons, he is averaging career numbers of 5.0 points and 5.7 rebounds with a 58.1% career field goal percentage. This season, he has been impactful off the bench for a Warriors team that has gotten off to a hot start, as he is averaging 5.5 points and 7.8 rebounds per game. The Knicks still need some depth in the frontcourt off their bench, as Robinson still hasn't returned from ankle surgery and Precious Achiuwa has yet to play a game this season with a hamstring issue. Looney would have been a solid depth piece who is more durable than Robinson, but it seems as though they have missed out on the opportunity to bring him in. The Knicks are expected to remain in the market for centers as the season progresses, but they will likely have to pivot in a different direction unless Looney becomes available again. Warriors guard De'Anthony Melton undergoes season-ending knee surgery. Golden State Warriors guard De'Anthony Melton underwent season-ending knee surgery Wednesday in Los Angeles. The team announced Melton had the procedure for a partially torn left anterior cruciate ligament that he injured November 12 against Dallas. Tests showed that surgery was the best option, the Warriors said November 20 when providing an update on Melton's status. Melton, who has also dealt with a troublesome back, had been a projected backcourt starter alongside Stephen Curry with Klay Thompson's departure to the Mavericks. Melton will begin rehabilitation on his knee in the coming weeks and is expected to make a full recovery ahead of the 2025-26 season, the team said. The 26-year-old Melton played 6 games with 2 starts, averaging 10.3 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 2.8 assists in 20.2 minutes. He also sat out 5 contests with a strained lower back. Warriors Stephen Curry reveals reason for desperate experiment. Currently on a 5-game losing streak after losing to the Nuggets, Stephen Curry is taking ownership for the Warriors' failed rotations. A quick start to the 2024-25 season has rapidly become a massive roadblock for the Golden State Warriors. After losing 119-115 on the road in Tuesday night's NBA Cup game against the Denver Nuggets, the Warriors are now 12-8 on the season and have lost 5 straight games. Nothing appeared wrong when the Warriors were 12-3, but many of their problems are now coming to light with a 12-8 record. More specifically, Stephen Curry has been the only consistent part of this team's nightly rotations. Curry can only do so much for the Warriors. As good as a scorer as he is, he alone hasn't been able to end the Dubs' recent woes. Head coach Steve Kerr and Curry have talked about figuring out Golden State's lineups, especially given that their 12-man rotation has been highly criticized during the team's losing streak. Not many teams in the league have ever found success playing 12 players consistently every night, which is why Curry and Kerr tried something new out of desperation in Tuesday's loss. "We've had some dry spells at the end of the first quarter, start of the second. and same in third and fourth. We wanted to just change it up, Curry relayed in his post-game comments, via NBA Sports Bay Area. When you lose, you gotta experiment. You gotta try different things. And I've done it in years past. Obviously, I gotta figure out my rhythm. I gotta make more shots and be able to put the ball in the basket more consistently. But I think the offense that we created, the energy we played with, I adjusted really well to it, so who knows how long it'll last. We're trying to get out of this hole any way we can. We gotta play a little desperate, try desperate things at this point. The idea of having Curry spend more time with the second unit in the fourth quarter of Tuesday's game paid dividends. After trailing by 5 points entering the final quarter, Curry and the Warriors went on a 13-2 run and began to run away with the game. Nuggets star Nikola Jokic eased the tension for his team, but Golden State still led by 7 points with only 4 minutes left. From that point on, a 13-foot jumper from Curry ended up being the only points Golden State would record the rest of the game, resulting in their 4-point loss. What has been a happy and positive locker room throughout the early portion of the 2024-25 season has certainly tensed up during this losing streak. Kerr voiced his displeasure with the team following the loss in Denver, and he even went as far as to single out second-year guard Brandon Podziemski in his post-game comments. Podziemski accepted the criticism that came his way, fully embracing this learning moment to be better. It is still very early in the season, and the Warriors are working through different problems with their rotations. Kerr has made it clear he intends to cut his rotations down, which is why Curry has been the one to suggest experimenting with different players. Only 10 total players entered this NBA Cup game in Denver for the Warriors, as Draymond Green sat due to a calf injury and Lindy Waters III did not play. This failed experiment with the rotation on Tuesday certainly had some flashes of brilliance, but all that matters to Steph and the Warriors is finding a way to get back in the win column. I'm not going to try and find positives. I think it's just a matter, we're all playing well. We're playing hard and we are all committed to get out of this hole, Curry continued. Everyone who has stepped out on the floor has been committed to that. We have a lot of great guys in the locker room and we have a lot of positive vibes, but nobody wants to sit and find positives in a losing streak. It's kind of just find a way to claw your way out, and I think we showed it for 44 minutes. What happens on the floor and the commitment to how we're trying to do it. There's something to take from that, but we gotta win. How Draymond mended rocky KD relationship in offseason conversation. Warriors forward Draymond Green speaks to reporters following Golden State's 113-105 loss to the Phoenix Suns on Saturday night at Footprint Center. Draymond Green's relationship with Kevin Durant is on the mend after the former teammates hit a rough patch last season. After an incident in which Green struck Phoenix Suns center Jusuf Nurkic during a Warriors-Suns matchup on December 12 last season, Durant made waves after he said he hoped Draymond gets the help that he needs. Green discussed how he took exception to Durant's comments on his podcast, The Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis. I was thankful, I was appreciative, because I am always someone who addresses things head-on, Green said. Last year, I got suspended with the stuff with Nurkic, and KD said something that I didn't like. I was like, damn, KD's got my number, and you're going to go out publicly and feed this narrative of, like, I hope he gets the help he needs, and I was upset about it, I felt away, I was pissed. After Green served a 12-game suspension, Durant clarified that he meant no ill will towards his former teammate. Green revealed that the two later cleared the air in a conversation over the offseason. I saw KD in the offseason, and we chopped it up, and man-to-man, face-to-face, we chopped it up, Green continued. Told him how I felt, he told me how he felt, and he was like, damn, I didn't think it would be seen that way, I didn't think it would be taken that way, and we talked about it. Then for him to come out and say this, when you share disdain with something that someone does, don't be a hypocrite when they say something well, you don't appreciate that. Green typically does not take issue with outside comments, but felt Durant's words carried more weight as a former teammate.